5 years ago, my adopted daughter gambled away her future and tied herself to a life exchange system. She used my lifespan to pay off the $1 million she owed in gambling debts. Before she died, I overheard her complain to my husband, "You're such a useless man. Why did you have to get colon cancer now? If you just lived a little longer, I could have paid it all back." My husband cupped her face and comforted her gently. "Sweetheart, don't be upset. Let's just live well from now on.
I'll treat you right.
I'll find someone else for you. Take the life of whoever you want." My nails dug deep into my palm. I had no idea they were plotting to murder me together. I took my last breath in agony on the hospital bed. But when I opened my eyes again, I was back in time with my adopted daughter standing before me, trying to give me the same jade pendant. As long as I wore it for just one day, my lifespan would once again be traded for her gambling debt. I smiled and gently placed it around my husband's neck instead. "My daughter is so thoughtful. You should experience her love too." "Mom, I asked a friend to get this pendant blessed at a temple. The master said it would protect you. Please wear it," she said sweetly. James chimed in, "Yes, Sarah. Emily's being really thoughtful. Just wear it for good luck." I remembered everything from before. Back when I was dying in my past life, lying in that hospital bed, they thought I was unconscious. But their voices still echoed clearly in my mind. The pendant worked. She started getting weak after wearing it just one day. Who knew she'd be so gullible? "When she dies, we'll get the insurance money." My fingers turned icy cold. That pendant had drained my life away, led to a mysterious illness, and eventually, to my death. And now they were trying to do it all over again. I took the pendant, my fingers trembling slightly, but I forced a smile. "Emily, you're so sweet." I turned to James and added, "But honey, you're the head of this household. You've got the most stress. You should receive the blessing." James's smile twitched. "This was meant for you, Sarah. We're all family. It doesn't matter who wears it, right?" I pretended to laugh and casually looped it around his neck. James froze like he'd been electrocuted. Emily yelped, "Mom, I got that for you." "Why did you?" I blinked innocently. "If Dad wears it, will all his luck disappear? Or is there something special about this pendant?" James and Emily exchanged a tense glance. James forced a smile. "I'm a man. Jewelry like Tisa doesn't suit me." He hurriedly yanked it off. "It's Emily's gift. You should wear it." Emily stomped her foot. "That's right, Mom. How could you just ugh?" I sneered inwardly. Just as I suspected, there was something very wrong with that pendant. "Fine," I said, reaching out to take it again. "If you insist." I slowed my movements deliberately, raising the pendant toward my chest, then stopped. "Wait, that's odd." I frowned. "Why is this pendant so cold?" James's face stiffened. "It's hot today. Jade is supposed to feel cool, right?" I touched the pendant to my cheek. "But this chill, it doesn't feel right." Emily grew flustered. "Mom, you're overthinking it."
I ser det her.
"I don't think so. I just find it strange. Why are you so desperate for me to wear it?" "Because we care about you," James replied quickly. I smiled faintly. "If you care, then why did your faces change the second I gave it to James?" Silence. The air between us turned heavy. I pressed further. "Emily, you said you got this blessed at a temple." "Which temple? When did you go?" Emily hesitated. The one on the east side of the city." My eyes narrowed. "That temple was demolished 3 months ago." Her face went pale. James rushed to cover. "Maybe it was somewhere else. Enough." I cut him off coldly and slammed the pendant down on the coffee table. The clink echoed through the living room. "Do you think I'm stupid? What the hell is this pendant? Why are you so insistent I wear it?" James's eyes darted in panic. "Sarah, you're overthinking, am I?" I sneered. "Then tell me why you panicked when I gave it to James. Why did Emily lie about the temple? And why does this pendant feel haunted?" Each question landed like a knife. Their faces turned uglier by the second. Finally, James gritted his teeth. "Forget it. If you don't want to wear it, don't." He grabbed the pendant and stormed off. Emily followed, but not before James turned back to glare at me. The door slammed shut. Later, Emily played the sweet daughter again, bringing me food and water, smiling so sweetly it could have made bees jealous. Mom, I was being immature yesterday. Please don't be mad. James added softly. Sarah, Emily realizes her mistake. If you don't like the pendant, just forget about it.
She's really grown up now.
Don't stay upset. I feigned being moved. They shared a smug look, convinced I had taken the bait again. That night, I installed hidden cameras, one at the living room entrance, another in their bedroom. The next morning, I called in sick. I lay in bed pretending to be unwell. On the screen, Emily paced anxiously in the living room. Dad, why didn't she wear it? The loan sharks called again. If I don't pay, they'll chop off my fingers. James gritted his teeth. Relax. I'll think of something. Think of what? I owe $1 million. They said if I don't pay by the end of the week, they'll take my hand. James's eyes gleamed with greed. Where's that $3 million she wants to invest? I have to get my hands on it. I'll tell her I've got a solid investment plan. And what if she never wears the pendant? Emily was close to tears. Then we spike her food, James snapped.
Beasts.
Both of them. What about the investment money? Emily asked. Once she wears the pendant, James said with a smirk, her health will fail again. She'll hand the money over willingly. In my past life, I'd fallen into their trap step by step. First the pendant, then the illness. I used every last cent trying to get better, only to die on a hospital bed while James pocketed the money. After they left, I rushed straight to the bank and immediately transferred the $3 million into 5 different accounts, leaving only $5,000 behind in my main one. Touch my money. Keep dreaming. Then I went to the hospital for a full physical. Every test came back normal, no red flags, no signs of illness. Staring at the report, I couldn't help but sneer. So it really was that cursed jade pendant. When I got home, James was busy in the kitchen with that fake, tender smile on his face. Sarah, you're back. I made chicken soup for you. Drink it while it's hot. I stared at the bowl of fragrant soup and sneered inwardly. The voices from the surveillance footage still echoing in my mind put something in her rice. I forced a smile. Thank you, honey. That's very thoughtful. I picked up the bowl but added casually. I just ate out. I'll drink it later. His expression shifted ever so slightly. It's better hot, he urged. It's okay, I'll shower first, I said, turning to head upstairs and deliberately leaving the bowl behind. Emily grew increasingly impatient until she finally snapped. Mom, I saw a bag I really like, $30,000. Can I get it? I didn't even lift my head. The company's short on funds. We don't have money. 30,000's not a small amount. Her tone turned shrill in an instant. All my classmates have it, but I don't. Have you ever treated me like your real daughter? You won't even give me something that small. James is right, you're selfish. James put on his best act. Emily, watch your tone with your mother. Then he turned to me. Sarah, she's still a kid. Just let her have it. And maybe try wearing the jade pendant on it, might change your luck with a company. That was it. My blood boiled. James, what the hell do you actually care about? Emily screamed. You just don't want to give us the money. Is it because you're seeing someone else? Did you give the money to some other man? They really thought I was still the fool from my last life. I pulled out my phone and hit play on the recording from yesterday. Volume turned all the way up. The $3 million she was going to invest must be obtained. Once she wears the jade pendant and starts deteriorating, she'll hand over the money herself. I let it continue. If it doesn't work, drug her food. Once she's weak and confused, she'll rely on you completely. Women get sick, and suddenly, the man becomes their entire world. James lunged at me, eyes bloodshot, veins bulging. Sarah, you were spying on us. I stepped back, voice ice cold. And you were plotting to kill me. Emily shrieked and rushed toward me. Delete it. Delete it now. I dodged and deleted the audio in front of them, then smirked. James's face contorted. What do you want? What do I want? I replied calmly. I want to know how many more secrets you've been hiding from me. Emily got up, her eyes burning with resentment. James treats you so well, and you still treat us like this? I laughed in her face. Good to me? Drugging my food? Tricking me into wearing a cursed pendant to drain my life? That's your idea of being good. James growled. What's wrong with the pendant? You're making this all up. There's nothing wrong with it. I stepped toward him. Then wear it. Why didn't you yesterday? What about the soup? What did you put in it? His face turned ghostly white. Emily lost it. Enough. You're insane. You're a crazy woman. My voice softened dangerously. Oh, then let me show you what a real crazy woman looks like. I raised my phone again. Do you think the police might be interested in hearing this? Their faces turned chalk white. Without another word, I said I was tired and headed upstairs, leaving the two of them staring at each other in stunned silence. Over the next few days, they suddenly became much more obedient. James didn't mention the pendant again, and Emily dropped her bratty attitude. I decided to bait them a little at James's class reunion. Casually, I brought up an overseas investment project with a high return. James's eyes lit up immediately. On the way home, he probed, "What project is that? Is it reliable?" I pretended to hesitate. Still doing due diligence. Might need some initial capital, though. His breathing quickened. How much? Around $5 million. In the days that followed, Emily started doing chores, washing dishes, cooking, even giving me back massages. She practically dripped honey with every word. Mom, you haven't looked so good lately. Maybe try the jade pendant. It might help your investment go smoother. I sneered internally, but kept a relaxed tone. Maybe you're right. Then I shifted the conversation. The project partner wants recent health check reports and video footage of our family life. What does that mean? James asked, instantly nervous. They're assessing the emotional and physical health of investors. I made up smoothly. Families that appear stable have better approval rates. Greed flickered in both their eyes. Let's film it then, Emily said eagerly. Our family's super happy. I returned to the bedroom and pulled out the dark green pendant. For this investment, I'll wear it for a few days. But you two need to help me shoot some family videos. They practically jumped with joy, convinced I had fallen for their trap. The filming turned into a shameless display. James played the loving husband, Emily the doting daughter. If I didn't know the truth, I might have been touched by their performance. Afterward, I turned off the camera. That should be enough. I touched the pendant on my neck and frowned. Why does this thing feel so uncomfortable? Emily instantly tensed. Uncomfortable? Where? I faked weakness. Tight chest, short breath, I'm a little dizzy. Maybe the blessing's too strong. James's eyes gleamed. Could be. You just need time to adjust. Yes, Mom, Emily added sweetly. Just give it a day or two. The fire inside me burned hotter. This blessing is too heavy, I said quietly. Then I pulled out my phone and displayed a photo, screen turned toward them. It showed Emily entering a dark underground casino, time-stamped and crystal clear courtesy of the private detective I hired. James's face went stiff. His lips moved like he wanted to speak. Sarah, I just listen. What is there to say? I cut him off coldly. You tried to use this jade pendant to kill me. Emily, how deep are you in debt that you'd pay it off with my life? Her face twisted, and she spat venom.
Yes.
It's you. You old witch. After they left, I rushed straight to the bank and immediately split the $3 million into 5 separate accounts, leaving only $5,000 in my primary one. Touch my money.
Dream on.
I headed straight to the hospital for a full physical exam. The results were clear, no red flags, no illnesses, perfectly healthy. I stared at the report and couldn't help but sneer. So, it was the jade pendant after all. When I got home, James was in the kitchen, flashing that fake, tender smile like nothing had happened. Sarah, you're back. I made chicken soup for you. Drink it while it's hot. I looked at the steaming bowl and sneered silently, his voice from the surveillance still echoing in my mind put something in her eyes. I forced a smile. Thanks, honey. That's so thoughtful. I picked up the bowl, adding lightly, I just ate out. I'll drink it later. His smile faltered. It's best while it's hot. I'll shower first, I replied, heading upstairs and purposely leaving the soup behind. Emily's patience wore thin. She finally snapped. Mom, I saw a bag I really want. It's only $30,000. I didn't even look at her. The company's low on funds. We don't have extra money lying around. 30,000 isn't just. Her tone turned shrill. All my classmates have won. Why don't I? Have you ever really treated me like your own daughter? You can't even give me a little thing like that. James was right, you're selfish. James jumped in with fake concern. Emily, watch your mouth. That's your mother. Then, turning to me, he softened his voice. Sarah, she's still a kid.
Just give it to her.
And maybe try wearing the jade pendant again, might bring you some good fortune with the company. That was the last straw. I snapped. James, what the hell do you even care about? Emily shouted. You just don't want to spend the money. Are you hiding someone else? Did you give it all to some other man? They really thought I was still the naive idiot from my past life. I took out my phone and hit play, volume up full. The $3 million she's going to invest must be obtained. Once she wears the jade pendant and starts to weaken, she'll hand over the money herself. I let the next line roll. If that doesn't work, drug her food. Once she's weak and confused, she'll cling to you. Women always do when they're sick. James lunged at me, his eyes red, veins bulging. Sarah, you are spying on us. I stepped back, my voice like ice. And you are conspiring to murder me. Emily shrieked and rushed at me. Delete it. Delete that now. I dodged her easily and deleted it right in front of them, then gave them a cold smile. James's face twisted with rage. What do you want? What do I want? I said, completely calm. I want to know how many more lies you've fed me. How much more of my life you've tried to carve away. Emily staggered to her feet, eyes blazing. James treats you so well, and this is how you repay him? I laughed in her face. So well? Is that what you call drugging my food and pushing a cursed pendant onto me to drain my life away? James growled. There's nothing wrong with the pendant. Stop making things up. I stepped forward, eyes locked on him. Then wear it. Why didn't you yesterday? What about the soup? What did you put in that? His face drained of color. Emily screamed, You're crazy. You're a damn lunatic. My voice dropped to a low, dangerous calm. Oh? Then let me show you what crazy really looks like. I raised my phone again. Think the cops might enjoy hearing this? Their faces turned white as snow. I turned my back on them.
I'm tired.
I'm going to sleep. I went upstairs, leaving them frozen in their guilt and fear. Over the next few days, they became obedient overnight. James never brought up the pendant again, and Emily dropped her spoiled, demanding tone. At James's class reunion, I casually mentioned a potential overseas investment project with a very high return rate. James's eyes lit up immediately. On the drive home, he nudged me carefully. What's that project about? Sounds interesting. I gave a small smile and feigned hesitation. Still investigating it, but it'll need some upfront capital. His voice tightened. How much? About $5 million. That was all I said. Over the following days, Emily transformed into a model daughter, cooking, washing dishes, giving me back massages like she was auditioning for sainthood. Mom, you haven't been looking so well lately. Maybe try that jade pendant again? Could bring you good luck for the investment. I smiled inside but kept my tone light. Maybe. Then I added, the company asked for some extra documentation, health reports, and video clips of family interactions. What for? James asked, suddenly alert. To assess the emotional and physical health of their investors, I explained smoothly. Happy families and healthy bodies increase their approval odds. Greed sparkled in both their eyes. Let's do it, Emily chirped. Our family's perfect. I returned to the bedroom and pulled out the dark green jade pendant. I'll wear it for the next few days, for the sake of the investment. But you both need to help me film. Their enthusiasm was disgusting. They thought I was back on their leash. What followed was nothing short of an Oscar performance. James played the gentle, doting husband. Emily, the sweet and thoughtful daughter. If I hadn't known the truth, I might have been touched. I switched off the camera. That should do it. I touched the pendant on my chest and frowned. Why does this thing feel so uncomfortable? Emily instantly looked nervous. Uncomfortable? Where? I feigned a breathy, weak tone. My chest feels tight. I'm a little dizzy. Maybe this blessing is too strong. James's eyes gleamed like a predator closing in. Could be. Maybe you just need to get used to it. Yes, Mom. Give it a day or two, Emily added quickly. The anger boiling in my heart reached a new high. This blessing feels heavy. My voice was quiet. Then I took out my phone and turned the screen to them. It was a photo Emily entering a seedy underground casino. The shot was sharp, time-stamped, undeniable. Courtesy of the private investigator I hired. James's face froze. His lips parted like he wanted to say something. Sarah, listen. What's there to say? I cut in coldly. You tried to kill me with this pendant. Emily, how deep in debt are you that you need to use my life to pay it off? Her face twisted into a snarl.
Yes.
That's right. It's you. You old witch. I raised my phone and started recording. You're a curse. Ever since you stepped into this house, nothing good has happened. James shouted, pointing at Emily, his face twisted with rage. Emily stood up, her eyes filled with venom. Good luck, she spat. Do you think I don't see your true colors? Don't act like a saint. Haven't you been waiting for Sarah to die so you can take everything she owns? James's face turned pale. What the hell are you talking about? Oh, stop pretending. Emily sneered. You only ever liked her for her money. You told me that once she died, we'd be rich. You said you'd marry me. You promised me. Did you forget everything you whispered while holding me in bed? Not only had they plotted to kill Methy'd been having an affair. Just last month, you said once Sarah died wearing the jade pendant, we'd get her life insurance and the investment funds, she added, voice trembling with betrayal. James's panic became visible, like cracks forming across ice. You're crazy. I never said any of that. Now you're denying it? Emily laughed bitterly. I remember every word. Or, do you think I forgot what you said while touching me in the dark? Their lies tangled into each other like a noose. I pushed open the door and stepped in, feigning shock. What's going on here? James flinched. Sarah, wait, let me explain. My eyes brimmed with red as I stared at him, my voice shaking. Is what she just said true? Emily threw James a sideways glance, then said coldly, Mom, I'll just tell you the truth. James and I have already. Shut up. James roared. I staggered backward, playing the betrayed wife. So you've been lying to me this whole time? It's not what you think. James reached for me, but I lifted a trembling hand. Don't come near me. I turned to Emily. You were just desperate. The creditors were after you. I'm sure James pressured you into it. James's expression twisted further. What are you talking about? I don't even have a job anymore. I poured oil on the fire. Emily's just a young girl drowning in debt. How pitiful. James pointed a trembling finger at her. She's nothing but a jinx and a spoiled brat who only thinks of herself. That broke Emily. You bastard, she screamed. You're the one who said to use the jade pendant. You planned everything and now you want to blame me? When did I ever say that? James shouted back, but Emily wasn't done. You said Sarah was a fat sheep, easy to slaughter. Once she died, we'd be set for life. And you said I was young and beautiful, not like her. You said you never even loved her. James's face turned green. I calmly raised my phone. I recorded everything. His voice trembled. How long? Since your fight started? I replied, eyes cold. Watching the blood drain from both their faces filled me with a dark satisfaction. Emily lunged at me, screaming, Delete it. Delete it right now. I dodged her easily and tapped the screen, uploading the video to several group chats. Reactions flooded in immediately. James, you're a piece of trash. Sarah, file for divorce ASAP. Emily, you're disgusting. The condemnation spread like wildfire. I finally let myself really smile. 1 week later, James was officially dismissed by the board of directors. He was ordered to repay the embezzled funds and fined heavily for breaching his contract. His real estate assets were frozen, and even his bank cards were suspended. Disgraced and covered in dust, James showed up at my parents' house, falling to his knees the moment he saw the door open. Mom, Dad, I know I was wrong. I really know I was wrong, he sobbed, snot and tears running down his face. Please, for the sake of all the years I spent with Sarah, help me.
Talk to her, please.
My mother's heart softened, but my father blocked her path. Get out. We don't have a son-in-law like you. Still, James didn't leave. He knelt there for 3 hours while the neighbors whispered and gawked. Isn't that Sarah's husband? What's he doing here? Didn't he cheat on her and try to hurt her? Their stares burned his skin, but he didn't dare stand up. Emily's situation was even worse. She sent dozens of WeChat messages, changing from arrogant to desperate.
Mom, I'm sorry.
I swear I've changed. The creditors are coming tonight.
I'm scared. Please help me.
I blocked her. That night, at 10, James finally staggered back home. Emily was curled up on the couch, shaking. They came, she whispered, sobbing. They said tomorrow is the deadline. James collapsed to the floor, looking around at the wrecked furniture, graffiti on the walls, demands for money scrawled in red ink. This is all your fault, he snapped, and pounced on her in rage. If you hadn't gambled, if you hadn't dragged us into this. You're the one who wanted to kill Sarah? Emily screamed, fighting him. You said it, not me. They clawed at each other, screaming like rabid animals. The next morning, I stepped out and found James kneeling at the entrance of my building. The second he saw me, he scrambled toward me, trying to grab my legs. I stepped back in disgust. Sarah, you're finally here, he bawled. I was wrong. I was so wrong. I stared down at him, voice flat. You want my help now? He nodded like a puppet, eyes wild. I'll do anything. Please. Then show some sincerity, I said, turning to walk away. What do you mean by that? He cried after me. I stopped and looked back over my shoulder. A public apology.
Admit you framed me.
Admit you stole company assets. That would end any chance of him rebuilding his reputation. But what choice did he have now, with the wolves closing in? I'll do it, he croaked. And Emily, I added, will write a full confession about her gambling and sign a severance agreement. She's no longer my daughter. James gritted his teeth. She'll do it. That afternoon, he brought Emily to the front steps of my office. Her face was gray, her eyes hollow. She wrote everything: her first time at the casino, the mounting debts, the lies, every transaction, and signed at the end with a trembling hand. Once you sign this, you're no longer my child, I told her coldly. Her lip quivered. A tear fell onto the page, but she signed anyway. James's apology appeared the next morning on the front page of the largest local newspaper. A full spread black ink on white paper broadcast his downfall to the entire city. 3 days later, he stood in front of my office again, clutching a copy of the paper in his shaking hands. His hair was unwashed, his beard scruffy, eyes bloodshot. Sarah, he said hoarsely, placing the newspaper on my desk, I did everything you asked. I confessed. Please, will you forgive me now? I looked at him with steady eyes. This isn't enough. My tone was calm, unshaken. Where's Emily? She wrote it all down. He pulled out a thick folder from his bag. Every dollar she owed. Every mistake she made. I flipped through the pages. Emily's handwriting was sloppy, shaky. Every line spelled ruin. The first time she went to the casino was 3 months ago. She lost $50,000. To make up for it, she borrowed another $100,000 through high-interest loans. Now, she owes a total of $1.2 million. She even saw a psychologist. James added that she had a formal diagnosis: gambling addiction. Looks like you finally know you were wrong, I said coldly. James's eyes lit up with hope. He dropped to his knees. Sarah, we've really changed. Please help us. I sighed. Get up. After all, we're still family. Over the next few days, I offered limited help. I transferred $100,000 to Emily and told her to pay off the most urgent loan. Mom, you're my savior, she sobbed, clinging to me. I swear I'll never gamble again. But I made her write an IOU, and James had to co-sign as her guarantor. I watched them both sign. I wasn't going to let things become vague later. For James, I said, I'm willing to help you find a job, but you need to show some sincerity. I handed him a piece of paper. Write down every business deal you've done in the past, including your under-the-table income. James wrote it all down. Every shady deal, every illegal cent. Any one of them could send him to prison. Sarah, you're really helping me? He asked, eyes filled with gratitude. I stroked his cheek and smiled faintly. We're husband and wife. We're supposed to support each other. They both believed I had truly changed. Emily became a model daughter, cooking and cleaning nonstop. James nodded and agreed to everything I said. But the surveillance devices I had installed told me the truth behind their forced smiles. She's still so easy to fool, Emily said in a hushed voice. Once this blows over, we'll figure it out. She still has the investment $3 million, James growled. We must win this time. You want to fight back? I whispered to my screen. Then I'll show you what despair really looks like. The next day, I deliberately had an inheritance document notarized in front of him. Your aunt's overseas assets are valued at around $8 million US. Dollars, the lawyer explained. I nodded, reading the document aloud as if to myself. Instantly, James and Emily's eyes lit up. Sarah, congratulations, James said, struggling to hide his excitement. Your aunt always loved you. Yes, Mom. You're rich now. Emily beamed like a child who just found a golden ticket. But that night, caught on camera, Emily was practically shaking. 50 million. We're rich. Don't celebrate too soon, James muttered. We need to get her to transfer everything into my name. The last plan failed. She's on her guard now. So, what do we do? Emily asked. We wait, he said coldly. We make her trust us. Then we strike. I shut off the monitor and smiled faintly. I stood in court, facing them in the defendant's dock. James, guilty of fraud, embezzlement, and document forgery. Sentence, 12 years. Emily, guilty of fraud and criminal conspiracy. Sentence, 8 years. James collapsed into his chair. Emily burst into sobs. Outside, reporters crowded around me. I gave only one answer. Evil is always punished. It's not that retribution doesn't come, it just hasn't arrived yet. 2 months later, I packed my things and prepared to leave this city behind. I sold the house, threw out every piece of furniture that held painful memories. On moving day, James's mother appeared. She dropped to her knees, weeping. Sarah, please forgive James for my sake. I helped her up slowly. Auntie, your son almost killed me. I must take revenge. But he's in jail now, she sobbed. And that's exactly where he belongs. She stumbled away, cursing. You vicious woman. My son must have been blind to marry you. A year passed. In a new city, I opened an investment consulting firm. Business was booming, clients came nonstop. One morning, my secretary brought in a letter. President Sarah, this came from the prison. I opened it. Sarah, I know I was wrong. Please forgive me. When I get out, can we start over? I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to you. I picked up a pen and wrote 8 simple words on a clean sheet of paper. The road to hell is long. I won't see you off. I sent it back. Half a year later, Emily's old friend showed up at my office. President Sarah, he said, rubbing his hands nervously. Emily's sick in prison. She needs surgery. Can you help? I looked at him, expression blank. Do I look like I still care whether Emily lives or dies? But she used to call you Mom, he said, voice trembling. I gave him a cold smile. When she was trying to kill me, did she think I was her mom then? You're so heartless, he muttered. Cruel. I stood slowly. When they plotted to end my life, was that not cruel? Now, they want my mercy? They're decades too late. I signaled the security guard. As he was dragged out, he shouted behind him, Sarah, you heartless BTCH. You'll die a miserable death. I took a sip of my tea, calm and composed. And finally, I was living as my true self.